Honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before. Nonsense. Talking nonsense. Why should we accept somebody talking nonsense? Like, what would you say? Just why are you talking nonsense about us? Why are you talking rubbish?
Hello and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast with Cathal and Will. Do not adjust your podcast listening device. This is not a glitch in the Matrix. That's right, 2 episodes, a bonus ep in the middle of the week. We were watching the Champions League games, and after just going on about how fatigued and boring football was, Champions League came back to save us. 4 unbelievable games. We had on Tuesday Dortmund, Sevilla, Juve, Porto, and then Wednesday we had Barca, PSG, and Liverpool, RB Leipzig. Now, allow me, Will, if you will, to be the first to make the very shrewd comparison between Ronaldo and Messi and Haaland and Mbappe.
That is blockbuster. That's why we get the listeners.
Yeah, that's the kind of groundbreaking stuff you'll see week on week here, folks. But it's one of those things, like those narratives they come up with, and you're like, oh, this fucking thing again. Like they're just like really wanted to happen.
Yeah.
And then some weeks it just writes itself because they were all playing, and then the old guard go out and the new guard go through. And I was like, those bastards, they've done it.
I've seen a lot of stuff, or I've seen some stuff as well this week, which I thought was a bit mad of people being like, Messi and Ronaldo, but like finished together, like 2 equals and stuff. Messi's finished well, not finished, but Messi's winding down like 3 years before Ronaldo did. Ronaldo was winning the Champions League at Messi's age, wasn't he?
Yeah, and that's the thing that they're trying to do, like they're in together kind of thing again, just like to kind of fit into the nice little narrative. Yeah. But with Ronaldo and Messi, there's always a winner and a loser. Even when they're in a much realer way, both losers because they both went out. Like Messi. The second game, well, we start with the Juve Porto game, because that was a great game.
Yeah,
Ronaldo didn't have the best of times by his own standards. He didn't score in either 2 legs.
Before that game, I saw a few people saying about how he's like the worst, like he's the reason Juve are kind of failing because they're kind of accommodating him. And I didn't agree with that. I was like, no way, he's top scorer and all that. But then they fucking crashed out of the Champions League, and Aaron Ramsey's is playing in midfield and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe there is something to that.
Hey, no one asked Ronaldo to sign Aaron Ramsey to $300,000 a week. All right, 400 grand. Like, had they watched any Arsenal games, and I know he's fucking scored some good goals at Arsenal, but like he was not worth that ever.
No, that's insane.
Ronaldo. He didn't score, like say, in either 2 legs, which is, that's kind of what he does. He scores goals. And then in this game, there was a chance where the ball came in, and he kind of got caught in between 2 minds of passing to Morata and going for his goal himself, which is the one thing you would say Ronaldo would never be, lacking confidence in front of the goal. Like, so that was weird to see that. And then he was another ball that came in, he miscontrolled it, which wasn't great. But the main thing that people are talking about is the miscontrol, or not the miscontrol, the free kick. Which, again, it was a long way out, and it was him and Morata in the wall and someone else, and they both jumped and turned their arse to it, and then the ball went underneath. And then Szczesny should have fucking saved it. That's no one's talking about that, but Szczesny had the fucking ball in then. One of the quote from the ex-player Nicola Amorosa. I would never put him in the barrier on free kicks, he told Sky Sports Italian. He is afraid of receiving a ball in the face because he cares about his image. Like, come on, man.
Doesn't make sense. It makes sense, though, I guess. But I wouldn't put him in the wall because do you not want him ready to break? Like, you don't want him fucking jumping in the air and then the ball bounces off him and he's stuck. Like, you want him kind of ready.
Well, I think it was so far out that it would have made more sense to kind of chip the ball in to someone else to maybe get ahead on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, to go for a shot. So they said we'll put the defenders there in case the ball goes over the top, and Ronaldo and Morata, the strikers, can be the furthest forward in the wall. But like this image thing, like you would think at this point in his career he would have outgrown the pretty boy.
How much? He's like nearly 40.
Yeah, but like for your image, I mean, unless he means his physical image, which I mean at this point, say it doesn't make any odds. He's made as much money he's going to make off that, but like it's worse for his image to get knocked out of the Champions League, surely, than his actual face.
Way worse, especially like the first year where people are like, there's new people in town. Like these are people, I would say the younger people now, like say 16 or 17, they don't give a shite about Ronaldo and Messi. They want to see Haaland and Mbappe, like, or even younger. Like say if you're 12, you're not going to give a fuck about Ronaldo now.
No. Do you want to hear what Pirlo said after the game? He was asked about this the jumping on the wall. We chose the players to go on the wall. It had never happened before that they'd turn around. Maybe they felt it was so far out that they didn't sense the danger. It was a mistake. It usually doesn't happen. The players didn't feel it was a dangerous situation and conceded a goal. So straight out of the Frank Lampard school of post-match interviews there, throw the players on the bus. This has never happened before. I did not teach them that. I don't know what they were thinking, but hey, they made a mistake and they conceded the goal.
And they're out of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
This is the thing. This is the whole reason you have two legs. That the best team will win over 2 games, home and away. Like, it's not down to 1 moment or 2 moments. Like, they conceded, 5 goals over the course of the 2 legs?
Yeah, 5 goals. I think that was it.
That's the problem. They're out. And I know what you're saying there. I think it's Cassano beforehand saying that Ronaldo, has he been a good signing? Have they won the Champions League? No. Therefore, bad signing.
Yeah, he's top scorer in Serie A, I think. Oh no, he's like top 4 scorer for Juve.
Like, it did make sense when they bought him. You know what I mean? Like, if you're close. You've got to the finals. You're almost there. What should we do? Okay, who won the Champions League last year? Real Madrid. And the 2 years before that, Real Madrid. Okay, who was their best player? Ronaldo. Who's their top scorer? Ronaldo. Who's the top scorer in the competition's history? Ronaldo. Can we buy him? Yeah.
Who wants to leave their club this summer?
Like, on paper.
That's a no-brainer. Like, of course. Every club does that move. But then, now people are like, they should have spent that Ronaldo money on, I don't know, like 4 other players, but that wouldn't have done it either. It's Pirlo as their manager.
Yeah. I mean, it is. That's the beauty of sport. Like, it's not a formula. Like, you can't just say this, and this, and you will definitely win. I mean, the best team does usually win, but there's always luck involved as well. Like, to think, we're talking about Messi and Ronaldo, all these years, we never saw a Real Madrid-Barcelona final with Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah, that's mad. And no matter how hard they tried as well, it seemed like they were always.
And all the years where you'd say they're the 2 best teams, they're the best players, but like, it would never, fall that way. So, I mean, it's a bit unfair to put Ronaldo, but I guess when you're getting paid that much money and you are Ronaldo, it kind of comes as a territory a bit.
Surely, I wonder will he go in the summer now then? Because like, it seems like the Juve fans are kind of, they've been sucked into the he's the worst part of the team. He's dragging us all down somehow.
Yeah, I'd say it'll all depend what happens with Pirlo. If they get someone else in, and then he'll probably decide if Ronaldo stays or goes.
Surely, if you're a manager coming in, you go, he stays. He's Ronaldo.
And then, of course, like we were saying, my very shrewd comparison, never done before. As this was happening, Haaland is becoming the fastest player to score 20 Champions League goals.
Man, he scored over 100 goals, I think, in his career, and he's 20. He's insane, man.
Well, can you guess how long it took him to get 20 Champions League goals?
Well, I doubt he made it out of the group stage in the first time.
Well, you know what? I'll do for you, I'll give you some context of other great players, how long it took them to get 20 Champions League goals.
Yeah. Perfect.
Ibrahimovic took him 71 appearances. Right. Cristiano Ronaldo took him 56 appearances. Right. Henry took 40. Mbappe 40. Messi 40. Raul 39 appearances. Neymar 38. Lewandowski 36. Benzema 34. Now, these are all players who've all started young, are all kind of prodigies coming through, but took them that kind of level to score goals.
Is it like 20-ish?
14.
Ah, man. He's going to be the best.
That is disgraceful.
He is unbelievable. And this is his first time out of the group stage, I would guess.
Like,
So he's gonna when he's at a team who win Champions League, he's gonna bang them in.
yeah, well,
That's crazy.
that was the thing as well. Like, they didn't look like a team that could win. As good as Haaland is, like Dortmund did concede a few times over the course of the two legs and the game. Did you see the highlights of the game, the Dortmund game?
I sure did.
Oh,
the penalty,
man.
anyway. Oh my!
It was infuriating to me, to be honest.
What are the rules?
Yeah, the whole thing. It was like, so he scored. The goal he scored was unbelievable. Where he was barreling through, the defender come to check him, and he just power passed him, just knocked him on his arse.
He, again, like a monster from Space Jam. He's ridiculous.
Our third episode in a row, we referenced the 1996 film Space Jam.
Oh, there's a second one coming. It's timely.
We're not sponsored by Space Jam 2, we swear. Although if you're interested in Space Jam 2, I mean,
imagine.
We could make a montage reference every week if we wanted to. But particularly for watching Haaland, I mean, that goal was a goal you don't see anymore. It was so good. He was just so strong. But of course, VAR has to come to ruin everybody's fun, and they decided it was a push, which it fucking wasn't. The defender came across to tackle him, and he just got, like, Haaland had the momentum, and he was too big, too strong, and just knocked him over. And then an unbelievably tight finish too.
Yeah, surely the attacker has the advantage there. Like, they're allowed fucking push by. That's what he has to do. If I have the ball and I run through you, that's not a foul. I have the ball. And
like that was annoying to me for one. But then I was like, well, at least it can't get any more annoying. But what did they do? They said, oh, and hang on, before that, there was a bullshit call that we would like to make there too, where the ball goes no near Haaland and it goes over his head. Or no, it goes into the goalie's hands, I should say. And then he gets a slight pull and he goes down very easy looking for a penalty. The kind of thing you never get given because it's not an actual foul. But like he gets given that, like, retrospectively, so that he gets a penalty. So I'm like, you've just allowed one of the great Champions League goals
for a
to then give a really soft penalty that shouldn't have been given. Yeah. So like, it's pointless. It's like, well, what's the point of it then?
Just let it slide then, yeah. Like, who cares?
But then, of course, they save it. So now I'm like, oh, well, there's been some kind of miscarriage of justice, and I'm not sure what it was. I don't know why I'm mad, but I am mad.
Yeah, a smarter man would be furious.
I was mad that he got it saved, but then I was like, well, he should have scored. But then, well, whatever. So he misses the penalty. He comes in for the rebound, misses that too. The goalie is pumped, and he gives a bit like, you fucking bastard, you go on. On your big bollocks, yeah. Right in his face.
Monster freak.
Yeah, like he was really fucking pumped up and saving his penalty twice. Yeah. So I was like, come on, give us some fucking... Anybody who's ever been hyped up over anything can understand the goalie's reaction there. And of course, then they go down the pitch and it's Sevilla have all the momentum. But then, Will, another bullshit call has to be made. And VAR comes back and says they have to retake the penalty because the goalie was slightly off his line when it was taken. Which, again, I'm now even more confused. I don't know who I'm rooting for. Am I rooting for the goalie? Am I still rooting for Haaland from the first goal?
Yeah. Is there a worse rule than the keeper can't move off his line? It's a penalty already. They're already at such a disadvantage. Let them move a bit. Like, how hard? Like, you have to stand completely still and then dive. Yeah, it's insane.
I'd say one step is fine, but as long as it's not like running towards you. Yeah, there's a kind of a grey area of like, yeah, well, that's all right. But then, of course, he retakes the penalty and scores, and Haaland gets right up in his face. And it's like, yeah, so you get for celebrating to me.
Did you hear his interview where he said what he said to the keeper? I was dying laughing.
No, what did he say?
So the keeper shouted something at him, and Haaland said basically that it was in a different language. Haaland didn't know what the keeper said to him. So Haaland just repeated what your man said to him in his face without knowing what he said. So he could have been like,
so he may have said, go on, you big bollocks, yeah.
He could have gone, hey, that was a really good penalty. hey, you're really unfortunate.
Oh, I have to find out what he said. Surely he said that and find out what he said. Oh, God. Now that would send you wrong, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Haaland as well seems like, I think he's going to be my favourite player ever because unlike Ronaldo and Messi, Haaland seems a bit gas as well. Like he's always winding people up. And remember, he did the celebration where he was like doing the yoga thing. He had a rap video when he was like 16. He seems mental. I love him.
Well, I hope he doesn't get corrupted by like big business and says, all right, you got to fucking keep a lid on this. All right, the first kind of outrageous thing he says that there's a backlash to them, like, okay, right, well, I'm never doing that again.
He loses all sponsors,
Hopefully he keeps his childlike wonder for a long time. But this is the thing with VAR, and I was thinking about this, is that like the rules of football aren't like black and white. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of you'll know when you see it. You know, when you're the ref, like you'll know. It's kind of like I was thinking of the previous jobs I had. If you were to write down everything I did in the day, like it wouldn't make sense. If like you talked to one customer before 1 o'clock, you know, you went on your fourth 20-minute coffee break of the day. Like it's like okay, but the job gets done. You know, I was never one of these people who would let things go and blame other people. I'd always get the job done. Yeah, not the most efficient way. Not the best possible way.
But away.
But away. And like football is the same. It's like it's a loose guideline. It's a game. Like it's not meant to be like rules and regulations. And honestly, I think this all stems back to the ghost goal against Liverpool against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Like Chelsea had the better team. They had invested loads of money. They had the best manager. Like, do you think that has ever happened to Rowan Brambridge, where it's just like it doesn't work out that way? But do you think he was like, that's life. You win some, you lose some. Like, imagine saying that to Roman Bramwich after the game. Like, listen, Roman, you win some, you lose some. He would have gone, no, you win some and you lose some. I win them all.
I've never lost in my life.
That's why I bought all the best things. This isn't good enough. And like, how long from then till we had goal line techno?
Yeah, well, that came after when England had the goal robbed in the World Cup, remember? Against Germany, was it?
That was another incident. But I mean, the whole thing was it didn't take long for the money to corrupt the whole idea of the game. Like, and I thought at the time, like, goal line techno is a great idea. What's wrong with it? Why is there such opposition to it?
Well, I don't think there's a problem with goal line technology. Like, that still works.
That's the win.
Totally fine. Yeah. But yeah, I was the same. I thought no problem with VAR. The right call should be made. But yeah, the game doesn't work like that. No. It's stupid.
But this is why I think they were opposed to goal line techno, because it was like, once you do this, then you can open the floodgates to change the entire game. Because when there's billions of pounds on it, people say, no, I want to have this so that I don't lose. I don't want to lose on luck. Like, I put too much money in this to lose on luck. And like, they're trying to ruin the game. Like, they're trying to take this from us, Will. Like, they're taking everything else. The money is like... Watching that game, I was like, they were ruining. They're literally. I'm watching the game being ruined in front of my eyes. Like, as funny as it is to see Haaland go in the penalty after, like, that shouldn't happen. He should have scored that great goal, and that would have been it. And like, oh, was the push? Was not? We said maybe it wasn't. It wasn't, but it was a great goal. Like, that's it. Like, another day, that's a push. Another day, it's not. Like, that's sport. That's football, and they're trying to fucking ruin it with this VAR shit.
All the highlights of like, think of like Premier League years for like this year when you're watching it later. It'll just all be penalties and like handballs and offsides. Yeah. That'll be the whole season. There'll be no like wonder goals every few seconds, like, because that one didn't count. You can't show it then because nothing happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. And I never thought I would agree. I thought it was always on the right call should be made, but yeah, it's too much.
They are like, they're taking it pure serious.
Yeah, exactly. It's the TPS instead of VAR.
Like, this is the problem. Like, football is just like to escape from reality. It's a thing you do on the weekends and that's it. Then you go back to real life. But when there's enough money and there's enough people invested in it, they're like, no, we have to get this, to a fine science. It's like, it's not science. It's not. Like, it's meant to be less important than that. But because there's enough money out there, it's become important.
You're going to send that into the Champions League and Premier League?
I mean, honestly, it just pisses me off because, like, you just spent the entire games like waiting around for VAR decisions. It's like, it ruins it. It just ruined the enjoyment as a spectator. It ruins watching the game. That was the choosing that game, and so like obviously then, like we said, the comparison: Ronaldo out, Haaland through. I don't think any of those 4 teams would have won the Champions League or will win the Champions League, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Bayern probably, they'll just walk it again.
Yeah, Bayern to probably win it. the next game on the Wednesday nights then were the Wednesday nights. The Wednesday night was PSG Barcelona, and
unreal. Yeah.
And I don't know about you, Will, but before this game, I was sick of hearing about these teams. Like, I couldn't believe they hadn't played since that last game. I've heard so much about it, and I was like, get over it. Like, it happened. It was a one-time thing. It's totally different players, a totally different team, totally different managers. It's not the same thing. I don't want to hear about the fucking remontada again. Get over it. Like, look, I wish it was 2017 too. Okay, but we had to move on. And then, of course, like most things, I was totally wrong. There is a lasting damage done because Barcelona started that game and they were creating loads of chances, and like, it's going to happen again. They're like,
PSG were immediately freaking out. Like, as soon as the whistle blew, there was no calm, anything. They were just panicked straight away.
And I was watching thinking, this is going to happen again. Like, they're going to be overturned again. This club has actually been, as an identity, as a singular thing, has been scarred by Messi in Barcelona and Neymar, and they can't get past it. I don't understand this. But like we're saying, the team continues, where VAR comes to piss in your fucking Cheerios and gives, very similar to the Haaland one actually, that the ball was nowhere near the players. It went into the goalie's hands, and there was a coming together, and he stood in the back of his ankle, and it was a sore one. It was definitely sore, but like, that's one of those ones where the ref, you go, if you see that, you go, well, that's not really what the penalties is there for. Like, he wasn't trying to do him in. It was just coming together. He came across him. But when you go to the letter of the law and you look at it,
and you watch it in slow motion as well and things like that,
then you have to give a penalty.
The impact.
You have to say, well, technically, yes, he stood in his ankle in the penalty box, therefore that's a penalty. When it's in reality, it is, but in the game, it's not. If that makes sense. Yeah. So then they got that, and then it was 5-1, and you think, all right, well, they'd do very fucking well to come back from this. Was it the penalty then? Barca got the penalty after that?
I think so. Or did Messi score first?
I think
then the penalty.
Yeah, I think Messi scored an unbelievable goal.
Yeah, wonder goal. While people have been talking about him being finished.
Yeah, like, and I think the commentator for BT was like, "Have you ever seen a ball hit that hard?" And it was like,
yeah, man.
He did, but he hit it, and like, it kind of swerved in the air to the point that Navas was like half jumping the wrong way, like, oh fuck, which way is this going? And it just flew past him. Like, it was an unbelievable goal. Like, one of Messi's best.
He's standing hand on hips, being like, where is this going at all now?
Pretty much.
Squinting.
And then they got the penalty, and then I thought, well, maybe, because, like, you know, then you only need two more. There's an entire second half to come. They're gonna bottle it again, because that penalty that PSG got was like the only thing they got in the first half. They didn't really create any chances at all.
Barca missed like 3 chances before that.
I think
like they had
10 shots on target and they created 21 chances, some of that. Which so one of those ones where they had enough to win it and they didn't. But of course, Messi misses the penalty, which he has done a few times in his career, miss big penalties.
Ronaldo as well. He's missed quite a few penalties. Well, he did at United anyway. He used to always miss them at United. Missed one in the Champions League final. Well,
this is the thing people say, you know, that you say about Lampard, you say about, and they say about Hernandez now, like, oh yeah, all he does is score penalties consistently every game. It's like, lots of players don't.
Really hard.
Like, if you could say we'll definitely score the penalty, that'd be a huge plus on a team. Like, I mean,
it's a cheat code, especially now when you get a penalty a game. It seems like having a player who never misses them.
It's a huge, and Messi could have done with something, or Barcelona could have done with Messi hitting that one in. It got saved off the bar and got headed away. And that, like, in hindsight, that was really the end of the game, because if they had scored that, you don't know. But PSG made it to the second half, and then the start of the second half, they pressed really high. They took off Courtois. He was on yellow. I think who was the right back for Barcelona was killed him. Dest,
Sergio.
He was flying up that wing. And they kind of saw out the game for the rest of half day. But like, they had loads of chances. They could have won it. Yeah. And after the game, they were talking about, oh, you know, if Barcelona had Neymar, they would have won that game. And I was thinking, like, yeah, but he hasn't played there for years.
Yeah, of course. If United had fucking George Best playing for them, they'd win the league. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah. And I get the connection of, like, he used to play for them, and then there was the last game, and he was in the stand, he played for PSG, all that stuff. But like, the real thing is, if you had Suarez,
who you gave away,
you sold not a year ago,
you told him to leave because he was too old, and he's really up still.
Whereas Neymar wanted to leave, he left years ago.
Yeah.
Like if he was still with Barcelona, PSG, we totally different. Like it's a totally like Suarez is the one that you lost, that you got rid of because Coleman came in, fucking eastbound and down.
Wanted Memphis to pie.
Fucking, you're fucking out, I'm fucking in. Like that's what he did. So like it was bad for Barcelona, but like we say, in terms of Messi versus Ronaldo, Messi had the much better game, and people were saying, "Oh well, like this could be the start of a new Barcelona team." But I think for Barcelona, you're in that terrible place of we have maybe 2 or 3 years left of Messi, or we say right, we're looking at 10 years down the road for the next Barcelona team.
Yeah.
So would you say, well, we're just going to forget one of the greatest players ever, if not the greatest player ever, for the last 2 or 3 years for the sake of
who came from our academy as well?
Yeah, for the sake of the health of the club. Or do you say, no, we've got to push and get in 3 more superstars to push for like one last year of Messi? Like, it's hard to kind of pick that because, like, you don't really have the legacy of, oh, yeah, we just kind of let Messi's last few years go because we were looking at Frankie de Jong as the next Barcelona player.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when they're in debt like they are as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of they're caught between a rock and a hard place. Spend money. If it doesn't work, so you're extra fucked. Like. Yeah,
rather than say, look, we have players from La Masia, we should just go with that and build for the future. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out. The other game, the last game, was Liverpool versus Leipzig. Now, we've shit on Leipzig before. Do you want to do it again, Will?
Spoofers. They concede in. So they've what was it? 2-0 in this game.
A carbon copy of the last leg.
Yeah, for 0-0 halftime, 2-0, same players. Didn't learn anything.
Salah first, then Mane.
Between United and Liverpool, both of those teams put for 12 goals by Leipzig in 4 games. Come on.
And I was looking. I'd looked at their teams. Like, who do they have? Like that, they must be somewhere as good. And I saw
it's the boys. It's supposed to be the boys at the back, the Koundé and Upamecano. Everyone's right.
Yeah, Upamecano, however you say it. I mean, I was like, oh yeah, that's he's been linked for 100 million to City, 100 million to United.
Yeah, he's going to Bayern.
But they couldn't keep out the mighty champions of Europe.
Yeah, they couldn't stop Sadio Mane, who's having the worst season of his life.
I suppose it's just like a kind of a psychological thing where like they're doing so bad in the league when they go out to play Fulham or whatever, thinking, oh, we need to win this one. Whereas Champions League, there's no pressure because like it's just a knockout competition and it's a different thing.
You're not expected to win this year, really. Like, no matter what Jamie Carragher says. Like,
now they had Fabinho back, which I think was a big plus.
Yeah, them. Especially in the midfield. Like. It seemed like when they have the good midfield, like everyone's been saying, when they have like Wijnaldum and him in midfield, everyone plays better because everyone's in the right place. It's not a knock-on effect of everyone's moved back one. Yeah.
Well, they haven't for now. I mean, the way injuries happen in Liverpool, it's like pro wrestling. Injuries can happen any time. Do not play like Jurgen Klopp at home. So I don't know. I don't know how far Liverpool can go. They seem to be invincible when it comes to Champions League.
They had no Anfield this time. They played in Budapest? Was their home
Budapest?
Leg? It's probably helped at the moment because they seem to have a mental block in Anfield right now.
Yeah, I know for sure. Maybe it's just like a nice little getaway for them, a nice little holiday to Budapest.
We're playing Leipzig, a day off.
Yeah, well, we just said we'd come back for another little bonus ep. But I like this. We might do this kind of more often, perhaps. We might do like the main.
Yeah, that was good.
Weekend roundup plus a little bonus ep, especially now with Champions League kind of heating up. If there's more good games like this, it might be nice to do a little bonus ep in the middle of the week.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be like what day is it today? Friday? On Fridays usually, Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, we'll do a Thursday, Friday kind of European football recap, perhaps.
And when are we going to drop the main episodes now? Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah, we'll if we can get it done Monday, we might get out to Tuesday.
Yeah, because for a while there, we were doing, as I'm sure anyone listening would know, we were talking about last week's games while this week's games were going on, so it made no sense. We were constantly so far back that we'd forgotten everything.
Do you remember Jim Redknapp's fight with Roy Keane? No?
Was that in February?
So yeah, hopefully as the Premier League regulates itself a little bit, we can regulate this and get 2 episodes out to you a week. Do you want to hear my stat of the week, Will?
Always.
Just to finish this off, it's not really a stat of the week. It's more kind of it's one of those things of like, the last time this happened. Do you know those ones?
Yeah.
So this kind of ties into what we're talking about, and it gives a little bit of hope to some Liverpool fans out there who might be needing it right now. The last time Messi and Ronaldo didn't qualify for the Champions League quarterfinals, guess what year it was, Will?
Was it 2005?
2005. Last time Everton finished above Liverpool in 4th.
2005. Boom, boom, boom.
2005. Last time the final was in Istanbul.
Oh, fuck off.
2005,
That's
baby.
mental.
Not really a stat, like I say, just kind of a tweet that I saw.
More a horoscope kind of thing.
Yeah. Like I say, it ties in with Messi Ronaldo, it ties in with Everton and Liverpool, it ties in with the utter bullshit that happened in Champions League. And I think it's a nice way to end.
We fire out the socials.
Yeah, at No Nonsense Pod on Twitter and no_nonsense_podcast on Instagram. Like we were saying, we were kind of fatigued with the Premier League games. The Champions League, it's so good. I love Champions League, man.
Yeah, it's either changing it though. They're changing the format. They're bringing they can't just leave it. They're changing the format so it's 10 teams in like a league format.
Why?
And then the knockout stage, so that they can more teams,
So,
more money.
so that they can't get knocked out on the way leg bullshit call or a home crowd thing. I'm telling you, they're fucking trying to take this from us, Will. Those the capitalists and the capitalist industry, they're trying to take our football from us. Like, they've taken everything else. Fuck me.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before. Nonsense. Talking nonsense. Why should we accept somebody talking nonsense? Like, what would you say? Just why are you talking nonsense about us? Why are you talking rubbish?